Hello, welcome to Whiskey Whims, a live stream tonight. I am in a hotel. I've got a course in Aberdeen, so I won't be drinking too much because I am technically working, if that makes sense, tomorrow. It is a course, so nothing too involved. But yeah, I'm just going to have a couple drams. We'll have a little talk, nothing too serious. I just thought whilst I was in this hotel myself, all alone, that I might as well make use of the time instead of just lying in my bed and doing other nefarious activities, I suppose. That's a pretty bad way to start. So yeah, I'll just going to double check YouTube if my computer works. It's pretty slow because I just want to make sure that everybody's getting sound. For some reason, the computer's been really slow. I can see my microphone audio jumping up and down. So if anybody's there, if anybody's actually watching, paying attention, please give me a shout. Please let me know if my audio is working, if you can see me okay, and if everything's fine. Because I don't want to just blab on and it turns out it's a completely silent video. Let's see. So I can see myself on YouTube, but I've not got any sound on because I don't want it coming back through the speakers. So yeah, there's some people there. Sounds good, brilliant. Audio and visuals, okay. Sweet. So thank you very much. There we go. That's all showing. For some reason that's showing. I'm really bad at this. I thought it would show. I thought it would show individual chat, but it's showing everything. I'm really bad. I can't remember how you do this. I thought it would, the ones that I highlighted, it would show, but it seems to be showing everything. So we'll go through who's here anyway. Donner Pass Whiskey. Cheers. Thank you for joining. Alan's here. Whiskey friend. Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Alan, for joining. I hope you're well. Hope life's treating you well. Not caught up with you in a while. It'd be good to get a dram at some point if you're ever back in Falkirk or if I'm ever down your way. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, and I really mean that. Willie, you're in a hotel too. All fine here in the Dumbarton Premier Inn, if that counts as a hotel. Well, I'm in Alton's, Aberdeen, so I think it used to be the Thistle. Just been at the gym, had dinner. It's a decent gym here as well, so that's pretty good. And I'll maybe go to the gym in the morning, depending on how this goes. Nah, I'm not gonna go too far with this. I've only got 3 samples, and I'm gonna have a few of them, not too many. Donna saying lunchtime here, so having a Sierra Nevada Summerfest lager. Sound is good. Thank you very much. We'll get this away because this is like it's so. I thought for some reason, why is it showing every comment? I thought it would only show new ones. I'm still getting to terms with this new streaming software. I've had to actually get new streaming software. I was using StreamYard and it's really good. It's quite user friendly and quite easy to bring other people into the streams. But I didn't feel like the video was of great quality. Whereas this I feel is a bit better, this streaming quality. It's called OBS, it's an old software. And I'm using my phone as a camera instead of StreamYard, where I use the phone but it kind of sends it through Wi-Fi and it gets all fuzzy. So yeah, Willie's saying the Altons is decent. Yeah, the Altons is pretty good. I think it's a decent hotel, and yeah, I'm happy that they put me up in here. So yeah, this is kind of impromptu. I was debating doing a live this week anyway, but I forgot I had the course. I was hoping to do a topic, and the topic wasn't going to be is whiskey boring because the last live we done, me and Stevie, was is whiskey boring, and I think going into that we both knew the answer, but I thought it would be a good topic. Some people took it a bit negative. We weren't. Or I wasn't. Stevie's never negative about whiskey. It's always me. I'm always a skeptic, but my intention was not to be negative about whiskey. It was more just maybe my kind of current stage in whiskey. I just felt like things were a bit repetitive. But no, whiskey's definitely not boring, and I've got three different drams tonight as well to kind of reassure and reaffirm that whiskey's not boring. So if you are drinking drams, I know Donner Pass says he's got a Summerfesser lager. A lager actually sounds good. I had a Guinness with dinner, and I've recently taken on a PT. Shout out to Chris Todd, who does control coaching in the kind of central belt area. He does Glasgow. So yeah, I've took a personal trainer on. I would say personally I'm in pretty good shape without trying to gloat, without trying to seem like I've got a big head. But I kind of wanted, I mean, I've been weightlifting and training, doing cardio on and off. But I've been weightlifting since I was probably 16, lifting weights, whether I've been doing it correct or not. But yeah, I think I'm a decent physique, but I've just kind of, my wife was like, why are you doing a personal trainer? Like, you're in a good enough shape, you're in better shape than like most people. So she was a bit confused about it, but I kind of wanted to push myself and try a bit harder. So anyway, the tangent that I was getting on is I had a Guinness tonight, and it was brilliant because I'm currently on a deficit, and deficits aren't too hard for me, like kind of lowering my calorie intake, because I'm not constantly hungry. I'm gifted with the lack of hunger, but yeah, so I had a Guinness tonight and it was brilliant. So that's why I'm saying the lager sounds amazing, because I've not actually had lager for 3 or 4 weeks now. The Guinness is like 200 calories, so that's a lot. I've only had one. Luckily whiskey is low calories, so I'm pretty safe here with the whiskey. But yeah, I do crave a Guinness from time to time, and yeah, that's why I got off that tangent in a PT. And my missus will probably say like, oh, he's just telling everybody he's got a PT because he keeps going on about it, and I do. She's getting sick of me at the moment going on about protein and carbs and calories and macros. So anyway, we're going to go away from that topic and not talk about it. We're going to have whiskey, or I'm going to have whiskey. So I would like to know what like everybody else is having. It's always one of those things you say on live stream. I just noticed this lid's busted. Let's see if that focuses. Let's try to focus on my face. Got my big ugly mug. You can see it a little bit there. Yeah, there we go. It's kind of focusing. Yeah, for some reason that's busted. I don't know how that happened. But this is an Invergordon 32-year-old 1990 from Thompson Bros, 51.1% ABV, and it was a split between a few of the Tabes guys. Not all of us went in on it. So yeah, I think I've had some of this before, and I can't remember if I enjoyed it or not, in all seriousness, because one of the, yeah, that's just completely, I'm not going to take that home, am I? Because that's just going to leak. We done two grains from Thompson Bros, and one of them was absolutely spectacular, and then another one was a bit of a letdown. So I'm hoping this isn't the letdown one. I'm hoping that's not why it's been left in my cupboard. But we'll see what it's like anyway. Yeah, like I said, pretty. Oof. Is this one? I'm honestly not sure. This is very grainy, and I know it's a grain. This is actually my Canary Head whiskey glass as well, but you can just see the K, that little line there. It's kind of washed off the engraving or the scripture. But yeah, this is very grainy. It's almost too grainy. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. I got upgraded for some reason to the premium suite, and they put water and coffee pods out, so I'm hoping this isn't charged to the room. But yeah, I got free water, so I'm flaunting my free water. Tastes like water. Yeah, so impromptu chat. I kind of wanted to talk about the channel. Like I said, I felt like I was getting a little bit bored with, maybe not bored with whiskey. That's the wrong attitude. I was getting a little bit disheartened with just what I was having, and I felt like things were getting a bit repetitive. And I feel that way in a sense for the channel. Like, I used to do videos and they used to excite me, and I still like doing videos. but I feel like obviously it's always reviews, and that doesn't get a lot of attention depending on the product, the whiskey, just because it's pretty much the same thing day in or week in, week out. But there is if you like, a loyal group of watchers, audience who watch me every Friday, who watch all my videos, and I'm really grateful for that. And I don't know if I should shake things up, and I don't know what that would look like, to be honest. I would like to do more lives, but I think I've said before, when I come home from work, my weekday schedules, because my wife's working during the day, normally the nights for us to spend time together. So kind of taking one night a week out to do like a live stream, like say Roy does at Cavite, it's a little bit difficult to kind of justify it, but I would love to do more live streams. I still want to continue on my Let's Talk Shop series where I talk to shop owners. I'm trying to get Canared Head Whiskies on, just with once again with schedules lining up. I want to get Nick or someone from Aberdeen Whisky Shop on and talk, because I think we had Will from Dunkeld on, and I think that went pretty well. It's just trying to get questions that aren't all repetitive, so that it's a bit more interesting to watch. But yeah, I don't know what you guys' thoughts are. Whoever's watching, or still watching. I know who's watching, but yeah, I don't know what your guys thought are. And Alan in the chat, I don't know how you feel about keeping things kind of fresh, what your thoughts are, and how you, because you've got a huge following and your videos do really well. So I'm not sure what your thoughts are on that, and kind of what you've done to shake it up. But I just don't know. I started doing my drowning in because I had loads of samples. I started doing those shorts, but I just felt like they were a bit of a waste of time, to be honest. I don't like the short content. I don't think it's not aimed at the people that I want to aim it at, if that makes sense. Doing shorts is for people who are just in and out, wanting to scroll, kind of eye-catching, like, I don't know, quick dopamine hits. But my content's not like that. I prefer doing reviews. I might go back into that, but I definitely want to try and do more lives, but it's a lot easier said than done. But I want to continue my shop series. I feel like I need to continue that, see that out a bit. I suppose it would be good to do more. I would love to do some live streams with other YouTubers, particular YouTubers as well. I definitely would love to do like a live stream with Jim, Whiskey Novice. I think I done one on Instagram with him like years ago when he was first deciding to get into YouTube, and now he's overtaken me. And even Alan, yourself, it'd be good. It'd just be good to do, I suppose, more kind of collaborations, because then you've got someone else to bounce off. That's why I love doing lives with Stevie, because you've got someone else to bounce off, and it's not just you talking to a camera. And that's why I love lives, because there's that extra layer of interaction. When you're doing reviews, it's just me, the camera, and then the comments, whereas this is a bit more, pardon me, a bit more interactive. Anyway, so Willie's saying, I don't do whiskey on the... Is this going to show everything? I don't do whiskey on the road. Enjoying a wee M&S bottle of Fatu picked up in the fort on my way south. Nice one. What's the reason for not doing whiskey on the road? I just realised how like bright this light is. It's showing my little vein here, my little worm. I'm quite... yeah, that's popping. Yeah, Alan's saying, go on, shake it up, fella. Yeah, I don't know what that looks like, Alan, though. That's the issue, like, what shaking it up. Count Bassey, cheers to, hi, hello. So yeah, I definitely don't want to... I'm not stopping videos at all, no. No chance. This is opening up. It was quite like almost like paint, thinner, like white spirit. Like you've left a paintbrush in it overnight, and you got the paint and the white spirit mixed in. It was kind of like that, but it is open up. It is becoming a lot creamier. I've got this Thompson Bros Invergordon, 32-year-old, 1990. yeah, I wouldn't say that so far the nose is my. I don't think this is the one. I'm going to feel like such an idiot if I've exclaimed about this and raved about this in the past, but this isn't really hitting the nose correct tonight. If it is that one, but I don't think it is. I think I had a bigger bottle. I'm going to need to figure out which bottle that was. Mm. Yeah, that's a bit harsh. It's a bit rough. No, I'm not too keen on that at the moment. Yeah, so I'm definitely not going to stop doing reviews because I do enjoy them. It's just sometimes for me it feels a bit repetitive. What I do need to do and get better at, and what I used to do, is proper sitting down with a whiskey and taking in-depth notes and then using it when I'm doing my review. Because recently, and I do not know if you've been able to tell, you probably have, for people who've been watching over the years, like, I've kind of been blagging the reviews. I've been tasting the whiskey and having the whiskey, but I've not been writing down notes. And then come review day or come recording day, I've just been kind of remembering what I've tasted previously rather than actually have a structured note. And I don't know whether that's better, because then at least it's kind of more from memory and more actually in your face what is currently in your glass and how you're currently feeling. Or if having the notes and having the notes over several nights compiled is a better way of doing it, a bit more structured. It might just be laziness on my behalf. We've got Al Rainin as well saying, "Evening everyone." Evening. So Alan here saying, I hate how this has came up on the screen, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm not fussed at keeping it fresh. I just sit down and pour some whiskey and turn the camera on. I don't stick to schedule. I'll record 3 or 4 videos at once and just put them out when they're ready. Ah, right. So yeah, I've always wanted to stick to a Friday release, a weekly release, just because it kind of keeps me focused, and it's some sort of schedule for me and routine, and that helps. But maybe recording a few at once is the better way to go, because I think the max I've ever recorded is 2 in a row, but maybe I should allocate my time better and do 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 like you said. So I'll get the chat back up, even though it's an absolute mess, because you can barely see it. If I kind of put my hoodie up, you might be able to see like the I need something like black. Because I'm technically at work, also half bottle of wine keeps the body under the threshold. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, obviously I've got this training course. I'm just having wee, tiny samples, and that's all I'll stick to. Not getting too leery. And Phil's here, evening lad. So yeah, Phil, you have recently started a YouTube channel, and I'm wondering how your journey's going, how you're finding it. I'll admit I've watched a couple videos, I've not watched them all, but it'll be interesting to see how the kind of demographic is now that you've moved over to, is it Florida? I am terrible at retaining information, so please do not take that to heart. I do listen, I just do not retain. So yeah, you've moved over there. I wonder if there's if you're seeing an increase at all. Obviously you didn't start it over here, you didn't start it in Ireland, but that would have been interesting to see how your transition, not your transition, but your your move from Ireland, if you started it in Ireland to America, see how that changed the audience. That'd be, because I feel, and this might just be me, I don't know about you, Alan, but I feel it's quite hard for a Scottish YouTuber reviewer, and maybe that's just me. Like Kevin Granton, Kevin Granton, is that actually his name? Granton? It's definitely Kevin. Granton maybe is his second name, but Kevin, who's Roy's cousin, he's kind of projected quite a bit. He's overtook me as well, and he's Scottish, but I think a lot of that does have to do with the kind of Akraviti hub, if you like. That helps, that community, whatever you want to call it, kind of helps promote other YouTubers, and it does. You look at the likes of Jeff Whisky, Jim Whisky Novice, but yeah, my point stays. I do think it is harder for some reason for a Scottish YouTuber. Obviously, Alan's Scottish but living in England. I don't know if that changes things, but you've got Jeff who's English, No Nonsense Whisky. Their channels seem to be doing pretty well, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the difference is, other than maybe nationality and region. And then Jim over in Antrim, I think he's still in Antrim. Jim's channel is fantastic. Jim's reviews are fantastic, and I've got a lot of time for Jim and a lot of time for his videos. And like I said, yeah, he does good stuff, and he's pretty regimented with his releases. This Invergordon is naff. I don't know if it's because, like I say, I don't know if it's because this lid's been popped for a bit and I've not realised. Surprised it didn't leak in my bag. Come on, focus. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this, but I am not enjoying it. I'm still going to drink it though, because I've not got really anything to pour it into. But yeah, so Phil saying the most viewers are US based, but it's definitely been a tough start so far. I probably naively thought it'd be further forward than I am after 30 reviews. Yeah, it's such a niche topic, and the current generation, the newer generation, as you can see with Diageo's shares plummeting. Well, also because they took away the dividends payout or whatever. But anyway, the Diageo shares have plummeted, and alcohol sales aren't what they were. I think obviously we got a false sense of security with COVID, but even so, the sales graph I don't think is too different. But I do know that the new generation isn't drinking as much. So YouTube as well, obviously an aging platform, or maybe a dying platform possibly. Obviously lots of people still use it, but nothing to what it was back in the day or at the right time. So maybe the likes of Ralphie, Roy, No Nonsense Whisky, maybe they started just at the right time. Although I would go to say that Aquavita's isn't just luck. Roy's is definitely not luck. He has built something, whether you agree with it or not. I think he's built something fantastic, and he's obviously very well, not rehearsed. Rehearsed sounds a bit cynical, but he's very good at what he does, and that's selling himself. He's brilliant, and he's also quite good at elevating others and making people feel special, making people feel in a community like they're wanted. This almost evangelism that he goes on about is almost quite ironic or funny, that it is similar to like a church. He's the Jesus, or he's the guy that stands up there, the pastor. I don't know what they're called. I'm not that religious. Almost a cult, if you will. But yeah, he's very good, and yeah, whether you agree with it or not, his isn't chance, isn't time and luck. His effort and the time that he's put into it, and the fact that he makes people feel included and special. So yeah, I think there is a timing element to YouTube, and also the fact that whiskey is so niche. It's such a niche thing. Obviously, it used to be like an old man's drink, but now it's kind of opening up to newer people, newer audiences. We obviously had the kind of woke push a while ago, or still going on. I think woke's kind of died out a bit, but yeah, whiskey is for everyone. I've always said it, and there's a whiskey out there for everyone. I agree with that. But it is a difficult it's a difficult topic to talk on YouTube. So Phil, I also agree with your take on the VPub Club. I'm definitely not getting much support from Ireland as a whole. Like, very few Instagram reposts or shout outs. Yeah, Instagram's dying as well. It's mental, like the amount of kind of people that view posts and don't interact. And it takes me back to this shorts, this YouTube shorts, reels or whatever. People are wanting that quick dopamine scroll. They don't want to look at a post, and they don't want to read the post. And which is a bit of a shame, and that's why, like, all these big accounts do very well with Reels, because I'm not just saying YouTube, but any big account do well because they use Reels to their advantage. You look at the top kind of YouTuber, top Instagram accounts or whatever, they'll almost all be Reels. So what else we got from Phil? I'm also trying to cover Irish Scotch bourbon on a rotating basis. Yeah, that's a good thing to have, to be honest. It's definitely a what is it called? An extra feather in your arrow, an extra arrow in your quiver, an extra feather in your cap. It's something else that maybe like separates you from others. Like Jim does pretty well with kind of covering Irish. I'm not sure how much bourbon he's covered, but he does well covering Irish and Scottish. But the fact that you're able to cover, you've obviously got a bit of a collection. That probably will help. I should have went more niche and stuck to bourbon alone, but the bourbon YouTube market is pretty well covered. Yeah, it's saturated. There's so many bourbon reviewers. Yeah, it's tough. Count Bassey saying thought Ralphie was Jesus. Yeah, I mean, Ralphie's different, cause Ralphie's different to Roy, because Ralphie doesn't really sell himself. He started kind of moving into that a little bit, with like bottles and with the kind of Oswas and going to festivals, being behind stands. I've seen him behind the Ardnamurchan stand when he had his Ardnamurchan out, and it was a good Ardnamurchan, by the way. But he originally was like kind of the recluse, or is recluse right? He was more segregated from it all. He'd done his reviews and stuff, but he wasn't really one for... He was kind of like Daft Mill, or what Daft Mill used to be, if you like. That's why they probably went so well together. He was like that distillery that didn't really do tours, but would kind of see people as and when they could. And Ralphie was kind of like that, a little bit. Like, he would do his reviews and he didn't really interact with... He interacted with his comments and stuff, but wouldn't really interact in the outside world. So he's slightly different to Roy, but he has started to come out his shell, if you like. But Roy's more... And once again, like, I am terrible at trying not to sound cynical or sounding cynical, but Roy's more... I don't want to say calculative. He's more methodical in his approach. He knows what he's doing. He's good. He's really good at it. And I don't mean that... I do not mean that in a bad way. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, he's got a hidden agenda. It's his income now. It's his job. So he obviously has to sell. He obviously has to promote himself. And, like, he is very good at it. So, yeah. There is a difference. I would say Roy's more kind of on that pedestal now over Ralphie. Like, Ralphie is like the OG, but now he's starting to say some crazy stuff that people aren't agreeing with. Like the whiskey is good for you, makes you better if you've got if you're old. Because what is it? Because you're not going to go to the toilet and fall and oh man, he's mental. What a guy. But yeah, I would say Roy's definitely more Jesus for me. Especially with the community, the way the community is. I don't know if you've seen he done the Independent Whiskey Festival, and I seen on Jeff's Instagram story, they'd done this. They were in like a huddle, almost like a team huddle, and they were doing a Rabbie Burns poem, I believe. I can't remember which one now, but they were all kind of toasting and cheering. And I'll agree. It's well, for me, cringy. Like that completely makes me cringe. But people love it. The people around him love it, and yeah, it works for him. So although I find it cringy, and although I think that's like I don't know how to describe it. That would just be like, no, I don't want to be there. That's not me, man. That's not. But it works for him, and people, like I say, people around him loved it. And Jeff was recording it, and everybody was loving it. So. Yeah, Roy's more like the Jesus, if you will. Alan saying, I don't think people are connecting like they used to. Individual reviews, they seem to be tuning into list or best of videos. Yeah, I found myself kind of going down that trap, maybe, if you like. And Jeff is a prime example as well. Jeff gets a lot of good content out, a lot of reviews, a lot of views, and a lot of his content's now that kind of top 5 Isla or whatever, the downfall of Diageo, blah blah blah, kind of more commentary, and it's good, but what I find difficult about that is you really need to know what you're talking about, and I don't. I know a bit, and I'm glad I've got like someone like Ryan, who's a mate, a Tabes member, and also a Patreon. Also shout out to Patreon. Thanks for everybody who's a Patreon. It honestly means so much. You do not know how much it means to be able to say that people are like helping me fund this and helping me fund the channel. Honestly, it does mean a lot. So like I said, I've got Ryan, and I can kind of rely on Ryan at times. Like, I'll ask Ryan any question, even if it's a stupid question, like how the fuck do you make whiskey, and he'll answer it. But there's a lot of YouTubers who will do commentary, and unfortunately they're wrong a lot. Not a lot of the time, but the majority of the, no, they are. There's a lot that we see that is wrong, and that's my issue with doing it. I would be terrible. I would need to do so much research. But the videos get views, and if they're opinion based and just opinions, then obviously can't really go wrong with opinions. But it's when you kind of start going into facts that people trip themselves up. But I do agree that people aren't connecting as much. I think COVID was brilliant for whiskey reviews, for the whiskey community, if you want, for people getting together, for people sharing drams, doing Zooms, doing tastings. For all that it had its bads, it was great. It was really a time for people to come together through social media. And it's not, yeah, it does seem like people have separated. People are working from home now, not getting as much interaction with each other. And it is a little bit sad. Sorry to go into a depressing note. So Phil saying, I definitely wonder if I'm late to the party. Possibly 2018, 2019 was when I should have started. Yeah, maybe. I think, Phil, in all honesty, I think it's just consistency. I think just keeping at it. I never thought I was going to hit 1,000 subscribers. It took ages. I mean, I think I started this in 2020. Actually doing reviews, doing the Instagram. I've done it all pretty much in this. I kind of started Instagram and then a month later done YouTube. But yeah, it took ages. People were saying like once you hit 1,000, it kind of like it's almost exponential, starts climbing quite quick. But I've not noticed that. But yeah, I don't think you're too late to start. I'd say stick with it. I know Gav's Drams was having. He was a bit disheartened with it all, and he was actually thinking about. I don't know how serious he was, but I was at a tasting with him recently for the Edinburgh Drammers. I'm going to finish this Inver Gordon because it's not that great. Like a wee bit of lemon there. Opened up. I maybe should have added water to it. It is 51.1% ABV, but Jesus, it's rough. So, I was speaking to Gav at the Drammers get together in Edinburgh at Belfry. If you ever get the chance, if you're ever somehow in the area and they've got space, give them a shout. Good group of guys. And he was saying he was getting like, he wasn't sure if he was going to continue reviews, and I actually took his address down because I mean to go round to his house. One of his issues, and one of my issues as well, is it's hard to open a bottle of whiskey or have all these bottles open for constant weekly reviews, because the way I like approaching a video is I like to have the bottle open for at least half the bottle, maybe a quarter at a push, and then review it, because I feel like I get a better appreciation for it. With the samples, I don't feel like I get enough of the sample to appreciate it and to actually review it. But then that's the only other avenue to go down, because you've got loads of samples, you're not having to open a bottle every week or having to open a new bottle every so often for a review. And that's why the Patreon fund, the Patreon support really helps, because I can kind of open a bottle every week, or I can get through bottles quicker to open new bottles. But yeah, it is a difficult one, and so what Gav and I were thinking, and this might freshen it up, freshen the channel up, is giving each other like kind of bottle ends, the dregs of our bottles, if it's a quarter left in it, if it's half left in it, whatever, swapping them, or not, it doesn't even need to be swapped, but then you're getting two different YouTubers, two different independent people reviewing the same whiskey, the exact same whiskey, which I think could be quite cool. So I've took his address down, and I do need to drive round to his house and just throw some bottles at him. Just launch them at his house, launch them through the window. Plus I want to see his dog. He got a puppy. It's not really a puppy anymore, I don't think, but he got I'm pretty sure it's a Labrador, a kind of golden Labrador. So yeah, I think that's something to do. Willie's saying an extra bow, an extra string to your bow. Yeah, that's right. Phil saying, sorry. I also try to do 3 videos at a time just to make the most of my available time. So I'll do my notes one week, do a rough idea timeline, then record. Life is busy, so it's good to have material stored. Yeah. Since I've taken, I don't know if I said, I took a PT on. Since I've taken a PT on, I've been focusing more on my training. I do feel like I've had less time, even though I'm still going to the gym, but I'm doing a bit more cardio and I'm focusing more on what I'm eating and stuff, and it's a little bit time consuming. But yeah, I think I need to make better use of my time as well. I mean, I am able to play the Xbox or the PlayStation like for hours, so it's just excuses. I've not practiced my chanter. I was doing a chanter for bagpipes. I was practicing chanter. I've not done that for like over a month, so I really need to get back into that, get back into some good habits with that. Willie's saying Roy's more produced. Yeah, he's been doing it for a while. He's got a good kit. He's got a good setup. He never seems to have microphone issues or live stream issues. Yeah, he's like I said, he is good at what he does. Lorraine's saying, is it A1? A1 Rain? Al Rain? A1 Rain. I've noticed a lot of bottles coming out of Aquavita. At first I was bought into the exclusivity, but getting a bit dubious now. Yeah, so I brought this up to him. I don't know if you've watched I've done 2 live streams on the Oswas. One with Jason, who I love Jason. I've got a lot of time for Jason. People were a bit feel Jason's negative, but I think Jason's a realist. And I think in today's world, where everybody's trying to be positive and everything's rosy, I'd rather a realist. I'd rather someone just tell me like how it is. Like if I've got a bogey on my nose, tell me. If I've got something on my teeth, tell me. Like there's no point in just lying to someone and being like, oh yeah, that's great. That's how I feel. Anyway, I've done 2 live streams. One with Jason, where we discussed the Oswas. We both maybe slated it a bit. And then I've done one with Roy, and yeah, Roy was a bit defensive, which is fine. A little bit undermining at times. Whatever, it's his project, it's his baby. I can completely understand the kind of attitude, not attitude, I sound really negative. Getting your back up, if you will. But my point is, I brought up the Ardnamurchan because he was releasing Ardnamurchan, an Aquavita Ardnamurchan round about a similar time, and my question was like, how can it be an integrity focused awards show or awards when there's factors like that? And yes, it's all publicly voted and blah blah blah. I've been into it before, I don't want to go into it too much, but yeah, things like that. And like you say, when it's a one-off, it seems pretty cool. And don't get me wrong, I'm not jealous. I am jealous. I'm really jealous. If you see me nodding down here, it's the microphone. I'm not jealous, but I think it's really cool. Would I jump at the idea of it? I don't know. It would have to be very long. I would have to think about it. The only person at the moment that I would collaborate with wholeheartedly, hands down, I would need to try it first, but would be Ryan, 8 Doors, because I've said it before, I'll say it time and time again, I have so much respect and hopes. I'm maybe putting too much pressure on him, but I think he's going places. I think he will do great things with 8 Doors. I hope he'll do great things with 8 Doors. So that's where I would like to put, if I got the chance, Ryan, hit me up. I would put my name to that. And I suppose Roy's done a similar thing. He's put his name Ardnamurchan, he wholeheartedly believes in. He done Loch Lomond, he likes that. Daft Mill, he likes that. But yeah, I would have to think about it long and hard because I feel like it would be a bit of a conflict when you're reviewing whiskey. Like, how can you then go on to have a bad Ardnamurchan, have a bad Daft Mill, have a bad Loch Lomond? You would feel, I suppose it would just be a will of character. You would feel almost obliged, like, oh, they've done me a solid. And I feel like there was something similar, but I could be wrong. I could be way off the mark. I feel like he was getting in with Tomatin, and then something happened, and then that went by the side. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking for things, making things up. But yeah, I'm a bit dubious about the YouTuber bottlings because, yeah, like I've said. Count Bassie's saying, I also noticed that Ralphie started to rant more and more compared to even a few years ago. He is getting older. It comes to us all, and it's an age thing, I suppose. I think you do get, like, I do it all the time. I'm constantly moaning about stuff. Maybe it's the cynic in me, maybe it's the age. Let me just get this. Speaking of Ardnamurchan, this was a tape split. Ardnamurchan, Paul Le Noir, champagne, I believe, wine or something. It's fantastic. I'm not gonna try and say that all Ardnamurchan's terrible. I'm just saying I don't really enjoy Ardnamurchan, but this particular Ardnamurchan is pretty good. Citrusy, malty, from what I remember, creamy. Just, yeah, it's a solid. Oh, bananas, the foam bananas. Oh, forgot about that. As soon as you smell it, foam bananas straight off the bat. Like no other. Like, just, I get foam bananas in other whiskies, but this is just, there's something about this. This is class. Catching up. Phil saying, Roy is good and has the gift of the gab, yeah, but I can't put 3 hours a week into his live streams, and the community does seem cultish, a bit like how the Dramface crew are held up as well at the festivals. Yeah, so that's what I was trying to allude to, if you will, when I seen this story from Jeff, and they're all doing this, like, toast around a circle. It's a bit cringy for me, and it's a bit, yeah, it's, as you say, Roy's good. And his live streams do go on, but the best thing is he makes people feel, and it's a good thing for not just men, but obviously there's women there as well, but men in general need, and I agree with this, men need other men, they need alcohol, they need to, whether it's blow off steam or just chat. This is like, for me, this, drinking with other men, drinking with mates, is like a form of therapy, if you will. I think this is great. I think stuff like this is great. I think not just men, obviously I'm not excluding women, but I think it's more important for men to get together as groups, get together as like cavemen and hooga. So yeah, Roy makes people feel important, gets people together, and it's a great thing. But there is a kind of cultish, I feel, and it's not necessarily him driving this cultish atmosphere or environment. It's just kind of people really like him, and I suppose that happens when people idolise people. It happens all over. Thistle finally shipped my bottle. Nothing happened in 2 weeks since I ordered the stuff and was worried that they wouldn't even ship it at all. I might have lost track of what was going on there, but Count Bassie, I only ever watched Roy while he was doing the Oswas stuff with Ralphie. Yeah, that's fair enough. Like I say, I've made my comments on Oswas. I really liked Roy's, and still like Roy's, recycled reviews. Like Phil says, like the live stream's 3 hours. It's so long. And sometimes it's good, but other times it's too much. But I really enjoyed these like recycled reviews. I think that was a great concept. I don't know if it was him that came up with it, or if there was like American first, or if he done it, but that was like great out the back thinking. I think he done an Isla video a while ago, and I really enjoyed that. That was really good production. Yeah, his videos are good. I'm just gutted. I tried to do a couple cycling videos, and they never came out great because of the kind of, it was a bit shuddery, jarring, the videos, because of the pace of the cycling. But cycling to a distillery and going to a distillery and doing reviews, or doing the distillery tour, the views on them weren't bad. I thought that was a bit out out the box thinking from me. Um, but maybe not the. I should maybe talk over them because I think I just got music playing over them. Maybe that's not what people want. I really don't know. It was the same when we done the trip to Eight Doors. I done a video of that, going to Eight Doors, going to the different distilleries. Um, they're really hard to. It's really hard to produce. Really hard to do like distillery tours because you don't want to just record a person talking about it, and you don't want to just talk over. You kind of want people just to take it in. That's why you should just go on a tour because it's a much better experience than watching someone like me. But at the same time, if you don't have that option to go and tour it, I suppose it's a great way to experience it through someone else. I honestly really liked my Daft Mill interview video. I loved going there. I think I went on my birthday. I'm pretty sure I went on my birthday. Went and seen Francis, gave me a tour around the distillery, and then we done like a little Q&A, a little interview session at the end. I was nervous as fuck. He was nervous because I don't think he likes being recorded. But he done really well, and I think he's opened up as well. He's kind of not got into the limelight, but he likes getting involved in more things. I honestly, Francis and Hazel, love them. They're salt of the earth. They're fantastic. They are the type of people we should be idolising. Hazel brings like tray bakes to Fife Whisky Festival every time, without fail, and they're smashing. And then you've got Francis, how she puts up with them. No, I'm joking. But honestly, they are salt of the earth folk. A lot of time. Brilliant. I wish I could get a time just to going round and get like a. That sounds pathetic. Get a roast meal off them, and have some drinks with them because honestly, if you ever meet them, they're fantastic. Alan saying, great fella, going live on Sunday myself, doing 6 independent whiskies. Yeah, I'll try and catch some of it, for sure. Phil saying, I still hold on to the hope that people want authenticity these days rather than just flashy editing. Yeah, but that's why Gav, I feel, works. Gav presses a button, records, no zooms, no memes or anything like that, no cuts, no noises, just Gav talking, and it works. He's an old guy who's genuine. Once again, another salt of the earth person. If you ever get to meet Gav as well, Gav is a riot. He's an absolute riot. There's no other way. There's no other way to say it. He's a riot. Brilliant. So yeah, I think people do want authenticity, but they also want to like feel like they want authenticity. They want authenticity wrapped up as if I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say, but marketed or towards authenticity, but not actually authentic. Like you get a lot of these Instagram reviewers, a lot of these whiskey reviewers who will say they're authentic, say they've got integrity, and then just put out like the most easygoing review just to satisfy whoever's gave them the dram. But I think people do want authenticity. I like the idea you and Gav have. Yeah, I really want to do that with Gav. I just need to pull my finger out. It's always me. Like I said, I would drive to Gav. I don't know if Gav still drives, to be honest. He was a driving instructor for a while, for a long while, and I don't know if he actually still drives. But yeah, I need to just pull my finger out and get some bottles round to him, and then hopefully he'll give me some like Springbank 30. Hopefully we'll. I think that'll be a good idea. It would be good to do like reviews side by side as well, like the two of us. But I think that'd be too much effort. I'd love to do a live stream with Gav, because like I said, he is a riot. Well, he's saying keep the chanter up. Yeah, I do need to keep the chanter up. I've just slipped. I've learnt 2 songs pretty much off by heart that I can play on the chanter, which is Scots Wha Hae and is it Brown Haired Maiden? It's either Brown Haired Maiden or I think it's Brown Haired Maiden. It might be the High Road to it's the High Road to Gairloch. So I've learnt Scots Wha Hae. I've kind of got Brown Haired Maiden, but I found it a little bit boring, and then I've got High Road to Gairloch. I was trying to do it through the tutor book. I've actually got it in my bag. So I've got an e-chanter and a normal chanter, and I was trying to do it through the tutor book. But Willie, I don't know if I should do it through like just songs that I want to learn or tunes that I want to learn, or just keep going with the tutor book, because then that's like learning it properly. Surge Hunter saying what's up? Just getting through some comments. Aye, how's it going? Just an impromptu chat about the channel, chat about other people's channels, and a chat about how sound folk are, like Gav and Francis and Hazel. I don't think Francis and Hazel watch my videos. They watch some Daft Mill. That was like a bluff there, wasn't it? That was like a poker bluff. They've like I'm signaling to someone. They watched I know they watched the Facebook one where I didn't really rate it. Given time, that actually opened up and became better, but I still did. It wasn't my favourite Daft Mill, even though it was like picked for the Facebook group. What an opportunity to get, and what an opportunity for me to slate a whiskey that was like picked by, especially picked for a group of people that are Daft Mill enthusiasts. Mental, but yeah, he watched that. He had a little bit of laugh about that, but I don't think he watches my videos often. But if he does, hopefully he does, because I'm giving him a lot of praise. I'll maybe like cut a little bit of this and put it in my story and tag him so he knows, or other people can tag him. Just tag him, just tell him. Because honestly, like, if you get the chance to meet Francis and Hazel, especially Hazel, like, Francis is sound, Francis is great, Hazel's just like so lovely, so lovely. Jason doesn't sugarcoat things. That's why malt was so successful before the Great Implosion. Yeah, I still have a little bit of a heartbreak over. I'm gutted. Malt became what it became, and then Dramface kind of took over, and now we've got a watered down version of malt. I don't think Dramface is. I don't buy into it. I think their podcasts do really well. The reviews do really well, but I was speaking to Amber Prism, who does a few reviews, and he's a big Ardnamurchan fan. I remember speaking to him about he's constantly reviewing Ardnamurchan, he's constantly giving it positive reviews, but it doesn't seem like other people are getting the opportunity to review Ardnamurchan, independent people who aren't heavily involved with it, if you like. I've actually not seen him I've not seen him on Instagram about Amber Prism. I don't know if he's... Maybe I need to message him, see if he's alright. He's a great guy as well. Good guy. Good guy. I felt like Trump there. Don't know why I felt like Trump. I'm not lying. Amber Prism is sound. But yeah, I don't buy into Dramface. I think malt in its prime was really good, especially when Jason, Phil, when you were doing reviews, because it was a no-nonsense kind of approach, and it was honest, and you knew it was honest. Whereas Dramface just seems like the reviews are fine, but they just seem a little bit more elevated in scoring. I feel like they should be more realistic, if that's what. Count Bassi saying swapping is great, even if it's only a sample. I'm fed up with buying full bottles simply because of certain stats, data, or history. I mostly put the remains of mediocre drams into one big bottle. Yeah, like a kind of infinity bottle. I know what you're saying. It's easy to get caught into like FOMO or people like me saying how good a whiskey is, and then you try it and you're like, actually this is shit, why have I listened to that guy? But yeah, if it helps, this 22, come on, oh, that's glitchy. This 22 Ardnamurchan Paul and all is fantastic. Phil, Ardnamurchan has been a bit lost to me. Just picked up the inaugural release Torraveg here for $45 and thought it was excellent. Yeah, Torraveg's really good. I've not got bottles of it. I've tried samples. I've tried it in shops. I was going to say in store, but that sounds very Americanized. I've tried it in the shops when they've been doing tastings and stuff. I've tried some independent bottles, maybe one, maybe not some, maybe one. And Torraveg is good. It's just a good. It's just good. It's the right age, the right balance, peat. Just kind of what you want from that region. Surge Hunter. I just got the new Ardnamurchan Paul and all in. Going to open it in about an hour. Love that specific bottle. Yeah. I think 2022 is the second release. I think 2021 was the first. I could be wrong. I've not had any Paul and all other than this one. Or Paul Le Noir. Polo Noir, but it's fantastic, and I probably should try and buy a bottle, but I am a bit lost on Ardnamurchan. Like Phil says, he's a bit lost on it. I feel like there is a lot of Ardnamurchan coming out. There is a lot of gimmicky things that I just like, the gherkin, the smidgy. Like, people were saying that it's good. Some people do like it. I didn't really like it when I tried the first one, and I was just struggling to keep up. And maybe that's my that's a personal thing rather than a distillery thing. But I've had 3 bottles, I think, and only one has really been like kick ass, like really enjoyed. Obviously, other than this sample, like, this sample's really good, and this is a great Ardnamurchan. But I felt like the hype was just, it was just too much, and it was partly the barflies, partly that maybe me not wanting to agree with them, maybe just being a bit against the grain, but more just the relentless hyping of it. And I know Springbank gets hyped, but for me it's deserved. And it's a what's the word? Why do I forget words when I'm... It's a well-tested whiskey, a well-tested product. And Ardnamurchan, yeah, it's getting there. What's that, 10 years now, maybe? 10, 11 years? But I just felt like the hype was too much, and it didn't feel authentic to me. But that's, like I say, probably my own personal thing rather than a distillery thing. Count Basie, I've only had the first release of the 10-year-old so far, and it was a bit underwhelmed by it, to be honest. Maybe I expected too much because of the hype. Yeah, so if that's the Ardnamurchan, I know Ryan, and like I say, I put a lot of confidence in a lot of, to be fair, most of the Tabes guys, or if not all of the Tabes guys, I take a lot of their recommendations to heart, and tend to believe them. And Ryan really enjoyed the 10 from memory, I'm sure he did. So I kind of thought, like, yeah, it probably is solid, but like you say, I think that hype, it can elevate things too much, and then it's like going out at the weekend. You think you're going to have a great weekend, like, oh, finally I can get to go out on Saturday, I'll get absolutely steaming, I'll have a great time, and then you go out and you're like, this is the worst day ever. Why did I hype this up so much? And I think that's kind of the case there. So yeah. Surge Hunter, I find the live streams too short personally, especially the on location ones. Definitely do not agree with every opinion on there, but that's how opinions go. Always good insight though. Yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about Roy. Sorry if I'm not with the program. I'm guessing you're talking about Roy on location ones. Yeah, the location ones, I think I've seen the Springbank one. That I think he did do Tomatin. Yeah, you don't have to agree with what someone's saying, everything that someone's saying, the 100% of the time. Everybody has varying opinions, and that's funny. You find it too short. I don't know. I find it's a lot of time. I suppose if you're sitting with a dram, maybe it's just the content for me that I find hard to sit through for that 3 hours, because maybe it doesn't resonate with me totally. But I think the longest I've sat through a Roy live stream is maybe like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and it is good. It's a good device. It's a good outlet to go on to talk to people, other like-minded people, and that chat's constantly going. It's quick, which is a good thing, obviously, and people are talking. So yeah, I'm just not really aligned with it. I don't know. Once again, it's a personal thing rather than maybe not a personal thing, but a preference thing rather than a personal thing. Like, it's not because I don't like Roy. I think Roy's a nice guy. But yeah. Hi Stuart, are you going to any festivals this year? Enjoy your content. Thanks a lot, Mark. Means a lot to me. It really does. Yeah, I'm gutted. Missed Fife Whisky Festival this year because of work. Something that's really bothers me is we run a Volkswagen festival. Not trying to advertise it here, but we run a Volkswagen festival. I'm a partner in that. Something that was kind of handed down to me through kind of family, through my wife's family, and that always collides. It's the last weekend in May, and it always collides with Campbelltown Malts Festival, like Cadenheads in the Courtyard, all that good stuff. So I'll never get to go to that for as long as I'm a partner, and I'm gutted. But I do love our Volkswagen Festival, our car festival. There are other brands out there, and there are other brands that come to the festival. But yeah, I'm not going to that. I'm not going to Glasgow, and I'll tell you why. I'm not going to Glasgow is I didn't enjoy Glasgow the first time I went, and the only time I went. I felt that it was too busy, and that sounds like an old man thing to say, but it was just too many people, too many things to see, and I couldn't get around. Whereas Fife for me is just the perfect size, 2 levels, and you can kind of get round everything, or at least everything you want to. Whereas I was quite lost at Glasgow. Maybe that was just because I was a noob, a new person to Glasgow Whisky Festival, but I found it quite difficult. Went to the meal with Roy and the Aquavita lot afterwards. It was a nice enough meal, and it was like, it was all right. The people I was with, I was enjoying their company. The Irish lot, what's their? They've got a little club, but like gym and all that. Something. I'm sure it's something bastards. Could be wrong. Phil will be able to tell me. But yeah, I want to get. I am a bit disheartened that I'm not getting to whiskey festivals this year. I don't think I'm going to manage any. So my goal for next year is to hopefully get to Fife, and I hope to get to some others, because I like being out there, and I like bumping into people as well. I'm regularly at the pot still, when I can get to Glasgow. But yeah, the Fife, like, whiskey festivals, not just Fife, but whiskey festivals are good, and it's good to be with other like-minded people. Like I say, I do need to get to more next year. That last year was busy, this year's busy. It just sounds like excuses, but yeah, if the right thing pops up, I really want to go to the Newcastle Indie Whisky Festival. They're independent. I think that would be pretty cool. But like I say, my rota, I work away, so it needs to fall in line with my rota. And sometimes these things just don't come together. Alan's away. Gotta go, Stuart. Get rid of the trainer and get on the whiskey, pal. Need 2 vids a week, fella. Yeah. To be fair, that my personal trainer's not said the whiskey is no, I can't have it, but just to relax on it a bit. Sergeant Hunter, I got the 10-year-old Arna working for my dad. Really liked it, but would have loved to have more of the champagne influence. I should have just got him a bottle of this. Yeah, like I said, I think Ryan thoroughly enjoyed the 10-year-old. And I've yet to try it. I need to get a sample or try it on a bar or a pub, something like that. Alan saying Gav still drives. Yeah, I wasn't sure, to be honest. But I would rather drive to him than save him driving to me. When's the next TABE meeting, and what distilleries will you be visiting? Mate, great question. We were kind of hoping to do something this year, but I'm not sure. A few of us work away and the rotas again, and I think a few of us have got busy years this year, so I'm not sure. We try and always get to Fife Whisky Festival. I think it's 2 years in a row we've missed, possibly 2 years in a row. Last year we went to Speyside. That was fantastic. Like I say, Glenfarclas, I go on about that anytime I can now. Like, that was hands down up there with the best experience I've ever had with regards to whiskey. Campbelltown though, although we had that Glenfarclas, Campbelltown brilliant. Salt of the earth people, working class. It's just not Speyside. It's not these premium brands trying to sell you hoity-toity stuff. It's just salt of the earth. So to answer the question, I want to try and float the idea of maybe going to Islay next year. But Islay's a little bit restrictive, I feel. Campbelltown's obviously restrictive because you're just getting Campbelltown whiskies, but Islay's just... The thing with Speyside is there's so many variations, and you can go to Highland, if you will. Sorry, I'm burping. But I feel like Islay's quite restrictive. If you're not really in a peat mood, then you're screwed. But I think Islay would be a good trip for the Tabes guys. Yeah, because we want to keep that going. We've fell, by the way, with the Instagram. We don't really post on there as much, but we're still constantly Opening bottles. We're still buying splits. We've had a little break this year from buying splits, just while Bart in the Netherlands, while he gets caught up with his samples, which is taking a bit of logistical issues. But yeah, once that happens, then hopefully we'll buy more splits, because some of the splits we've been buying, obviously, like I say, the Paul Noir, we bought some mental bottles. It's good. It's a good place. Phil saying, love Daft Mill. It's pricey but worth it. Easy to pick up at auction too without paying a premium. Yeah, the prices in auction are, I don't. Yeah, the prices in auctions are hard to argue with. I've not bought Daft Mill since last year, I think. When I was in Aberdeen Whisky Shop, and they just so happened to get a delivery of it in, and I had to take a bottle. I've not chased it as much, and that's just because I've got a few of them that I need to open. I need to stop being greedy and stop buying them, and just get them opened and get them tried. Mark, do you like to add water to your whiskey, Stuart? Aye, it depends. That's a great question. It purely depends on the whiskey. I normally don't add water to cask strength whiskies. Like, I like a bit of a tickle in my throat, a little bit of a punch, a little bit of a hit. However, some whiskies like demand it. Some whiskies need it. This Invergordon that I had earlier, it was a bit rough. I'm actually wasn't enjoying it too much. That probably, I might try it again with a bit of water. It might elevate it. But yes, it purely depends on the whiskey you've got. I think I try to add water to a lot of whiskey just to see what it does to it, but a lot of the time I revert back and just prefer it straight out of the bottle. I think I've added water to a 40% once, 40% ABV, and reduced it a little, and it's actually been really good. But yeah, I actually tend to just drink it the way it is, because I think I like a little bit of kick. But no, what water does help. It helps open it up, helps separate the oils, get those fatty acids out, and it definitely explodes in the nose. So yeah, it's worth trying it with any whiskey you've got. Phil saying, well, I lost the plot with the Dramface when I reviewed the Springbank 10 PX, which I scored a 5 and Jason a 6. You're mental. No, a 5 and a 6. The PX, yeah, the PX was one of my least favourites. So I think I've done a video on the full sherry series, the samples at least, the tasting pack. The Palo Cortado, I've had a bottle of that, outstanding, and I think the Amontillado or the Manzanilla, one of them was my next favourite, but the Palo Cortado, oh, that was lovely. And I've saved a little bit of that from my own bottle. So yeah, Roy asked the rest of the group if anyone else had a bottle to review, because basically I wasn't positive. Yeah, I don't agree with that. The PX, like I said, the PX was not fantastic. I don't know what I would have given it out of 10 because it's so long ago, but I'm pretty sure it was one of my least favourites. So I think 5, average, 6, just a bit better than average. It's pretty middle of the road in terms of what I would score. If I was to use 0 to 10, like 5 is halfway of 10, 50%, so it's pretty bang in the middle. I don't think it's a negative review, but there you go. Willie's saying keep going with the tutor book and start listening to more pipe music. Yeah, that'll get you picking up the chanter more often. Yeah, it really helped. I was actually listening to kind of piping music and certain tunes over and over. I had a playlist and I was listening to them, and that did help me, and it got me into the mood for learning the chanter. But I've just been a bit, I don't know if it's been lazy or just been like wanting to have more time to myself, even though like it's time to myself, like I'm learning something new. This last month or something, month and a bit, I've just been struggling to pick it up. I've just been feeling like I just want to chill. Even though like it's not laborious. Phil saying it was the only time I was part of Dramface that Roy did that to her. It was the only time I was part of Dramface that Roy did that to a reviewer, and I wasn't impressed. I didn't stay much longer. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be policing. I mean, once, like I've said before, he's it's now his income. I'm pretty sure it's his sole income. The whole Dramface Patreon, Aquavit. Obviously, he's got his missus, his wife, whatever she does. I think she's a GP. But that's by the by. That's his livelihood now. So you can understand that he's wanting to kind of protect it, and he's wanting to ensure that it's got longevity and people buy into it. But when you go on about integrity, when you go on about honesty, you shouldn't be policing people's reviews, especially if they're supposed to be independent. If someone doesn't like a whiskey and you've asked them to review it for your podcast, your page, your channel, whatever it is, then that's their opinion. I think that's pretty poor. I understand why he would not want to put it out, because he obviously has some sort of ties to Springbank, or he wants to keep things positive, he wants to keep friendly relationships, whatever. But it's a bit, yeah, it's out there, or at least be honest about it. Just, he maybe should have done a post or an article saying that what he'd done, because it's a little dishonest, I would say. Just, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to harp on and attack someone, but it is what it is. Paul Lenoir is the only Ardnamurchan I own. I generally choose other distillates over it when I have to choose, like Ardnahoe. Ardnahoe, I've only had their inaugural release. I've not had the recent one, but Ardnahoe was a fantastic inaugural release. 70 quid, 5-year-old, Isle of Whiskey, banging. It was, I need to drink more of it. I've been off peat for a while. But yeah, great whiskey. Edradour, love it. Love Edradour. Kilchoman, meh. I'm not really on the Kilchoman train or Port Charlotte. I'm not on those trains at all. Also not too hyped on most AD Ardnamurchan, Adelphi, Ardnamurchan. Yeah, I kind of struggle with Ardnamurchan. I know there's a lot of people who are into Kilchoman and Port Charlotte, a kind of niche. There's a lot of it was kind of like Ardbeg in a way, like a lot of what do you like enthusiasts. I'm pretty sure Bart, one of the Tabes members from the Netherlands, he really likes Kilchoman, but it's just one that I've not reached for. Once again, it's a personal, like through my own fault, not through the distillery. But yeah, Ardnahoe and Edradour, I love Edradour. I just wish it wasn't so expensive at times, but what a great whiskey. Just great. Even though the sherry stuff, like Edradour, Balkan, just brilliant. Mark saying, sorry to hear that. Never tried the Springbank PX, but did manage to get the Long Row Tawny Port, and it was good. Yeah, I think I like port, and I like Long Row. Long Row Tawny Port done it for me. Yeah, I think the PX, it was just too much. From memory, I have done a video on it. It is out there. I can't remember if I've done it live or if it was just a tasting, like a review. But yeah, the Palo Cortado, brilliant. Surge Hunter, the on location Edradour recently was really good, but I'm an Andrew Simonton Edradour fanboy. Yeah, I'll need to watch that. Because like I say, I do like Edradour. I wouldn't say I'm a fanboy at Andrew Simonton, but he seems to be doing good stuff. Releasing whiskey at really good pricing for us consumers. People think it's a race to the bottom, but he's got the stock, he's got the resources to price it the way he wants, and it's only good for us consumers buying it, especially some of the Macallans, some of the Clynleashes that he's releasing, like you say, the Edradours, the blend that he done, the old school malts. There's a lot of boxes to be ticked. He had a recent 200th celebration. I'm sure it was 200th celebration, and a few people were invited to it. I was not, of course. But Ewan from Robertson's in Pitlochry, he was invited to it, and he said it was absolutely fantastic. He said the whiskey was good, Now, I'm not a wine drinker, but he said the wine was next level. Supposedly, at Andrew's wine sources is really good, top notch, and he knows his wine. I've heard that he's more into his wine than he is his whiskey. So yeah, I can imagine that would have been some celebration. It was in their new, they've got like a new kind of hall at Edgedower, and it was in there. So that would have been amazing to be a part of. There's two things. Well, I've always wanted to go to the Keeper of the Quake, which is at Blair Athol, where I got married, the Blair Athol Castle. I've always wanted to go there, Keeper of the Quake, and then that 200th anniversary at Symington or Edge of Tower. I would have loved to have went that. That'd have been mental. Mark's saying, with regards to Ardnamurchan, I find it fine mostly, but McLean's nose I actively disliked. Yeah, that grain component really didn't sit well in my opinion. Yeah, so some people, I think some people have like an aversion to grain because they're very sensitive to it, and I am one of those people. I've had plenty of grain that I've loved, but there's some grain and a lot of grain that it just hits me wrong, and sometimes in blends that grain can be overpowering. The McLean's nose, I tried it, wasn't a fan, didn't understand the hype, but the SRV5 on the other hand from Thompson Bros, it then got a bit of hype, it got a bit more hype, and it got what it deserved because it was way better. It was a way better blend. They both came out roughly about the same time, maybe a couple months apart, and the SRV5 kind of got slept on, wasn't as much marketing. Obviously the McLean's nose had Charles McLean, or I think that's his name, Charles. There's a lot of marketing there, and obviously the fanboy hype from Ardnamurchan, but I tried both of them, and the SRV5 I picked 2 bottles up, and McLean's nose didn't go back to. Hallion Battalion, thank you Alan, that is it, Hallion Battalion, Phil, Hallion Battalion, yes, Hallion Battalion. I sat with you guys, Irish folk, good crack, good guys, good laugh, and that's what made the Indian after the Glasgow Whisky Festival all that much better. Roy was brilliant. Roy was good to talk to. Some of his, I think one of his cousins, maybe his other cousins, not Kevin. There's another guy that's pretty big in the barflies. I'm pretty sure he's related to Roy. He was sound. Oh, sorry, I just hit the mic. But yeah, no, the best part about that meal was the Hallion Battalion. Mark, I'm up in Glasgow next month for Ralphie Tastings with North Star at Good Spirits Co. Oh, nice one. What date? Let me know what date that is. I'll see if I'm home, see if I can pop through, go to Pop Still, get a couple drams. Surge Hunter, I could only get my dad a bottle of the Paul Lenoir at secondary, and I wasn't paying that. Never paying a scalper, no. I've not actually looked at the Paul Lenoir. I don't know what that looks like at secondary auction. I actually don't know what price it was when it came out. All I know is the sample that I've got is fantastic. And that's pretty much the majority of my experience and knowledge with the Paul Lenoir. Phil saying, my big regret was never to get over to Scotland to meet up with you guys and Jason. Yeah, we still need to, not you because you're away to America now, so screw you. We still need to get together with Jason as well. I know he's got a new, well, relatively new child, probably a toddler now. But he's got a child, so he's quite busy, but we still need to get a crack with him. Jason comes to Ireland a few months after I leave, yeah. Yeah, I wonder, did he not come over to America? Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that would have been great. If you're in Campbelltown, you can do Cadenhead's Warehouse tasting and try a great spread of flavour profiles. Yeah, I've done the Cadenhead's Warehouse tasting twice. First time I done it was absolutely amazing. Second time I done it was with the Tabes guys, and it was great. But it wasn't the same because we were in like they've changed from the warehouse to a mechanic's garage, a car garage, where they've got like a couple of casks, and the whiskies are slightly different in the sense that there's some finishes. They're not the same as what they used to be, and maybe that's just me like reminiscing about better times. But what I will say is the Kilkerran warehouse tasting blew me away. Fantastic. I would pay for 3 of them over. I'd go to them instead of the Cadenheads now. for what I experienced. And if it remains the same, then that would definitely, I wouldn't change my mind, because although the Cadenhead's tasting, you're getting different whiskies from different regions, different companies or whatever, the Kilkerran was just brilliant. I still reminisce about that. I actually reviewed a sample of Kilkerran the other day, and all that I could think about was that warehouse tasting. That's how like good it was, and it's probably clouded my good judgment of future Kilkerrans, because everything's just great now. Mark's asking, do I drink any other spirits like rum? I like I like I like sake from time to time. Rice wine. I'm not a really big fan of wine in general. I kind of struggle with wine for some reason. I probably should get into it as I'm getting older. And rum, I do like a rum from time to time, but I struggle to buy rum purely because I'm buying whiskey. I've had a few. I had a Thompson Bros rum that I really enjoyed, and then I've had an LBD. I try to think what distillery it was. MCJB, I believe, and that was fantastic. I do like rum. I don't really buy it, but I think it's great. It's good with a cigar. It's better. It's better than. It's better with a cigar than whiskey is, and it's good on a hot day as well. Rum is good, but yeah, I probably should drink more rum and review more rum. But because I'm just spoilt with scotch, with whiskey, it's hard to buy rum. Yes, Search Hunter saying they can confirm this. Love the warehouse tasting. Yeah, the warehouse tasting, Cadenhead's warehouse tasting. Don't get me wrong, it's great. It was better. It was better. Like, this was 6-7 years ago maybe. They've only recently, in the last 2-3 years, moved into the mechanic's garage. And Cadenhead's whiskies are always normally good, but they're doing a lot more finishes. And I did pick up a Stocia from that Tabes Cadenhead's warehouse tasting in the car garage, and I did really enjoy the tasting. It's just the Stocia was great, well priced, but nothing like blew me away. Whereas the Kilkerran tasting, 3 out of the 6 blew me away. Like, the other 3, I think it was 6. The other 3 were like great, but 3 of them were just fantastic. I only bought 2 because one of the other ones was a bit more expensive. But yeah, Ardnaho 5 cash strength is mental. I love mental. Absolute juice in my opinion. If you can try it, give it a shot. Yeah, I'll either try and buy a bottle or get a dram at a pub or something. Because like I said, that Ardnaho inaugural release was fantastic. Dram more Blair Athol 12-year-old. People know I like Blair Athol. Dram more, not really a company I've had much whiskey from. I'm subscribed to their newsletter, but it's not anything to do with the company. There's other whiskies out there, there's other bottlers out there, and I tend not to go for them. But I do have a lot of Blair Athol. And I've tried to stop buying Blair Athol because I've got so much of it. And I do like it, but they can be hit and a miss. Need to let this open up. Might need to add water to it as well. Search Hunter. I'm also in the Netherlands. I think we get a lot of good bottlings of Kilchoman. Yeah, that's maybe why Bart's so enamoured with it, because he's in the Netherlands. Had some crazy Pinot Noir casks from them. Yeah, I like the sound of that. I think Bart, I don't know how. So Bart's in Zaandam. He does like, what's his whiskey tasting group? I don't know if he still does it. Prefederin or something. He has like a whiskey tasting group, and they done a small cask. I'm pretty sure it was Kilchoman or Bunnahabhain, and he created like his own whiskey in there, matured it, and gave it out to them. And he's actually gave me a sample of it, so that'd be cool to try. 100% the best wine cask whiskies I've had were Edge Towers and Ballachans. Andrew Symington was way into wine before whiskey, so I do trust him, his taste when it comes to wine cask. Yeah, he's renowned for it. Like I said, Ewan was more blown away by the wine rather than the whiskey. Ryan's here. Ryan said, "Oi oi." Yeah, Ryan, you've missed me bumming you up. You know that I bum you up quite a lot anyway. Don't bum you, but bum you up. I see you've said how's the battery as well. I don't know. I've got my webcam ready to go in case the phone fails. But yeah, I was kind of bumming you up earlier, just saying we were talking about Roy and Aquaviti and how he's done some bottlings and how that kind of muddies the lines, and how some people have become a bit like meh with it because he's bringing out a few, and it's cool that he gets to do that. And I said, sort me out. I said that the only distillery that I can see at the moment, like if Springbank came knocking and said, Stuart, do you want to do a bottle of Springbank? It'd be hard to toss up. But I said I would wholeheartedly be able to put my name to something you've done, because yeah, yeah, right, I'm bumming you up. Just take the compliment, man. So if there is an 8 doors cask going and you want to put Whiskey Whims logo on it, you know, I mean, I need to try it first, obviously. That is what I said in the chat as well, like, I need to try it first. But no, it muddies the lines, and then, like, what can you trust? People know that we have a relationship. This is getting weird. So my review of 8 Doors and Seven Sons products could be seen as that, but at least it's out in the open, at least it's transparent, and also I did give your North British a whiskey bin. So you know. Paul, no, I paid €70 for it. Secondary was easily over 100. That's a bit much. 16th of April, but it's sold out now, unfortunately. Yeah, I could still be in Glasgow though. I could still be kicking about. Ryan's saying I'm sure he's 6 now, so I think he's on about Jason's son. Yeah, he probably is 6. Like, I lose track of time, and kids grow up so fast. So, Murray will be like 6 soon. He's saying Kilkerran. Ryan's also saying Kilkerran was unreal, but we also got away with murder. Yeah, we kind of did, but not only with Kilkerran. Like, obviously, was it Joyce? We were pretty loud, pretty rowdy, but I really we got away. We weren't like tapping into casks, but Kilkerran wasn't real. Kilkerran was insane. That warehouse tasting. Yeah, I've got 2 bottles just sitting in the cupboard, and I never want to open them because I don't want to finish them. But at the same time, I just want to experience it again. It's a blade. Ooh, that's weird. Woo. It's like chewed up. It's like spent chewing gum. That's weird. Blair Arthur 12-year-old by Dramore, 55.5%. I'm going to add a wee bit of water. It's like Hubba Bubba chewing gum, but like spent. So you've been chewing it for ages. The flavour's kind of gone, but still a wee bit there. I've added a wee bit of water. That's what that's like. Mental. You should not look back, my friend. Comparison is the thief of joy. Be in the now. Yeah, you're right. Ryan saying less bumming, please. Generally, I'm for them and think Roy is sensible getting in on that. Happy to do a Whips in the future. Yeah. Like I said, I need to try it first. I can't put my name to just any old crap. Search Hunter, as an example, was sipping a Quinta a day. Oh, for Jesus, you're really going to try and make me pronounce. I'm just going to. Quinta de Sal Francisco. Estremadura, wine cask, Edredauer, 15-year-old at cask strength, that somehow was €65, got 3 bottles, and it was absolutely lovely. A cask strength Edredauer at 65. What? A 15-year-old? What? €65? I wonder if Ryan might be able to help. I don't know. I wonder if he sells to the European market for cheaper. I don't know. Because I feel like a 15-year-old cask strength Edredauer would be more than 65 quid over here. I don't know. I would need to look. That seems really cheap. It won't be long tasting panel assemble. Our octaves are mad for 3.5 years. Yeah, I suppose octave more interaction. I always like my analogy And I'm going to say I came up with it. I don't think anybody, because I always remember my football coach saying, like, playing five-a-sides, you get more contact to the ball because there's fewer people there. It's a smaller space, so I always think of that as octaves. So yeah, I'm cool. I'm intelligent. Not to talk about Roy behind his back, Mark, but don't talk about Roy behind his back because it's a live stream. If someone wants to tell him that we were talking about his back, then someone will. But we're not talking about his back. We're just talking about YouTube and talking about streaming. Listening to his live stream with headphones on, I never know anyone to make so much noise drinking whiskey. Swallow, suck, sniff, sniff, lol. Yeah. To be fair, if you're listening with headphones, hopefully the feedback's not that bad. So what we're saying? We're saying, what, swallow? Nah, you can't swallow first. That's terrible. Yeah, I don't know. I've not watched Roy in a while. That whiskey's weird. Ryan, do you know if you got a sample of this? I don't know if Mark's watching. I don't know what he's up to, but this is weird. Weird in a good way though. It's also it's like a wee bit like soapy. Like, do you know what it's like? It's like see, sometimes when you get pickled, is it pickled ginger? When you go to an Indian and you get like pickled, is it pickled ginger? I think it's pickled ginger. There's like an aftertaste that gives you. And the only reason I'm linking it to that is because I had that recently. I had pickled, whatever it is, pickled ginger, I'm sure it's pickled ginger. And after it, there's like a kind of weird soapy aftertaste. And this kind of tastes like that, but not bad. I'm enjoying it. Surge Hunter, the 12-year-old Caledonia was over €65. Yeah, that seems more typical with the pricing over here as well. When that cash strength 15 was 65. I also did a double take, and that's why I got 3 bottles. I didn't have high hopes for it since it was so expensive, but 8 out of 10. Yeah, inexpensive, sorry, that's good. Ryan saying some areas of Europe have better duty rates than us. Yeah, that makes sense. Another example is Japan, where they have none, for example. No duty rates. Jesus. Every day's a school day. I did not know that about Japan. The duties have something to do with it, but this one was incredibly inexpensive. Yeah, it was. Ryan's saying Blair Athol probably in the sink. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Blair Athol. I think it's good distillate. That's why it makes up the majority of bells, because it's fucking solid. I stand by it. It can be a hit and a miss, but for some reason I've got an affinity to it. And I'm not sure if it's like a sentimental thing because of the region, because the area has a lot of family memories, I suppose, or if it's just because I do like it. But I do like it. Phil saying, I've got to go, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And good chat as always. I don't know about good chat, but thank you for joining. Definitely keep doing the YouTube. Keep doing it. Search Hunter. 100% on the rates, as generally it's cheaper to drink whilst everywhere, bar the UK. Yeah, year on year we see duty rise. £5 raise in 5 years. Yeah, I don't think that's as much as UK. Mark's away, gotta go. Good night, God bless. Thanks for joining, Mark. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a good night. Pardon me again. Ryan, Japan is cheap as chips. Surge Hunter. I'm just saying the Caledonia was more expensive with our duties compared to the 15-year-old, so not sure duties is the reason. Yeah, that 15-year-old might have been an EU exclusive. I've got no idea. I honestly don't know. I would need to search it up. I'd be keen to try it as well. It sounds fantastic. So I'll keep an eye out for it. Ryan, 48-hour ferment and bombed through the stills. Is that you just finished tonight then? I'm guessing. What is it? It's a Thursday night, isn't it? Yeah, how long have you been finished? Just been down the distillery, making whiskey. Oh man. 48-hour ferment. Nice. Aye. What's your when do you think? Obviously, you have maybe some say in Eight Doors when they release, but oh, was saying Blair Athol is haha yeah, bombed through the stills. Here, Blair Athol's class. What was I going to say? Yeah, when do you think we're going to see Eight Doors? Do you think it'll be 7 years? Do you think it'll be sooner? Obviously, there are the owners involved and when they want to release it. But what do you think and what would you recommend? What would you want? I think I know what you'd want. But with the octaves, I suppose the octaves is... You could probably release that sooner. So not soon enough. Fair enough. That's a pretty diplomatic answer. 45 years. Yeah, 45. I mean, Varden Ho can do it at 5 years. So not long. No. Would you want longer? Or do you think 45 years is sound? Surge Hunter, pretty sure that price, it's sold out in the UK too. Yeah, I'll maybe check the secondary market because it sounds like one to go for. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Blair Athol. Who would have thunked it? Thank you very much, Mark. Go give him a follow on Instagram, a Whiskey Bond. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that. Last 20 to 9. It's an hour and 40 minutes. It's not too bad. Good going. I think I've managed to keep some chat going. So, Ryan said, tasted samples recently, and the Euro and the Spanish oak are really mature. The American oak will really help tone things down, and will also marry in refill butts before. Yeah, yeah. I'm keen to see. I'm keen to see the Spanish oak. No, to be honest, I'm keen to see everything. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's really exciting. And you must be pretty excited too, to see it from pretty much the start to now. Conception, almost conception, to release that'll be sick. Be something to be proud of as well. Unless it's shit, then you're screwed. But it'd be cool to see a project from start to finish. Is what I'm saying. Al Rain, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the big reveal from behind the curtain. Yeah, it's I'm gonna go behind this curtain and then reveal myself, and I'll have it's the window out. I'm on the first floor as well, so it's literally just there's grass and possibly a generator. Yeah, it's a hotel, man. It's literally nothing, and it's dark, so there's nothing exciting. You'll probably just see dreary Aberdeen anyway. If it was sunny, it hasn't been too bad a day today. It's been alright. Yeah, I'm out of whiskey. I mean, I'm not out of whiskey. Oh, Ryan, that's what I was going to say. Can you remember this? Did you enjoy it? Because I had this tonight, just a wee slither of it. I really struggled with it there. Like, really struggled with it. I'm tempted just to try. I'll try a wee bit with water. Just a wee bit with water to see if it's something else. But I know you had some of it. And I know there was another Invergordon, the one in the was it 100 cl, the kind of the bigger bottle. I'm sure that was Invergordon, and that was absolute smashing. But I don't think it was this one. This one's like, I was getting like paint thinner, like a paintbrush dipped in paint thinner and left overnight. That's our new make is doing well, so that's at least a good sign of things to come. Lightly peated produced is great too. Yeah, your new make was up for the top 5 best new makes, which is a great achievement. And I've had both your new make, what kind of your own style, and then also the style of the owners, and both are cracking. And I agree with a little bit of lightly peated. Lightly peated It's traditional, I feel, a little bit nod to the past, if I'm right, correct in saying, and I think it works. I've still got the Eight Doors member new make. I've not cracked it. I don't want to really. I don't want to, I don't want to open it. But the new make that we tried at Eight Doors, and the new make that you've I think you brought some new make to Glasgow Whisky Festival last year or 2 years ago. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Um, the Invergordon is quite acetone. Yeah, yeah, it's a tough one, really tough. Even with water. Uh, Bit late, sorry Stu. Aye Matt, it's fine. Don't worry about it. How was your distillery trip? How was your day? We've just been kind of talking about the channel, Ryan, a lot of love going to Ryan, Roy obviously, a lot of hate going to Roy. No, I'm joking. Just the usual ramblings of me. But yeah, kind of talking about channel directions, trying to spice it up a bit, talking about festivals as well, talking about Tabes. Phil raised a great question of when us Tabes guys are getting back together and doing some sort of distillery tour or some sort of visit, and I kind of said maybe Isla next year. I think this year's pretty booked up for me, but I mean if you guys want to go do something, that's fine. Um, have you tried leaving it out for an hour? Yeah, that might help opening it up a bit. Like I said, for some reason the lid has burst. So this has actually been in my car like this. So I'm assuming it's had a bit of oxygen to get to it. So it's been like this for quite some time. But Matt's there. Matt's just said, just found that same in their Gordon 1990. Give it a try. I'm not enjoying it. Not at all. My favourite tonight's probably been I think this is really good stuff. Arna Merkin, Paul and Noir 2022 release. And then the Blair Athol, obviously a sucker for Blair Athol. This was just weird and lovely. Really quite thrown me off a bit. Ryan on their new make, on Eight Doors new make, it's fruity, oily, and still tastes of malt. Too many new makes have zero character and have really high cuts. Boring. Yeah, that's something like I've struggled with, and I've said it before. I've not been shy about it. Just like keeping up with new distilleries, and what separates them, and what makes them unique, what makes them have a bit of character. Nook Nean tried it with their kind of organic style, their kind of, I don't know, I just couldn't align with that. Rassie's alright. King's Barnes, the independent bottled mystery malt just proved me wrong on how I've been sleeping on King's Barnes, but even that I've not really bought into. Lag's really good. But I don't know, a lot of new distilleries I've just felt like, Isla Harris as well, just kind of not a lot of character. Torre Vague is one of the ones that I would say Torre Vague, Lag, maybe Rassie at a push. Like I only like Rassie because of the Fife Whisky Festival. I've not bought a bottle, so I'd have to say like Torre Vague, Lag, and Ardnahoe in recent years have been like, for me, more character, or ones with character. I sent you a photo from our day out. Well, I can't see it, can I? Because the camera is my phone. I'm using the phone as my camera. So I can see notifications coming through on my watch, but I can't see any pictures. So fuck you. Get Edgedower out to Queen's Park. Mate, if I had Edgedower here, he's just sent me a photo. The phone, if I've not got my phone, rude to be on my phone as well. Surge Hunter. If I had an Edgedower here, I'd be tanning it. I might have a sample. I hope I kept some of. I think it was a 22-year-old Barolo cask Edgedower. I'm going to be over in the Netherlands in June. I'm going to be in an hour away from Amsterdam. I can't remember the place. I'm over for a course for a week. Me and Bart were going to like a Trappist, Buddhist, no, not Trappist, is that right? We're going to like a beer place where I think there's Buddhists. Buddhists make the beer or some shit like that. Anyway, my point is, if I've got this Edredauer 22 Barolo, if I've still kept some of it because I killed it long ago, then you're getting a sample of it. If I don't see you over in the Netherlands in June, I can't remember, I think I'm over early June. Anyway, if I don't see you, if our paths don't cross, I'll get Bart to like send you a sample if I've got it. Hopefully I've got a sample, because mate, that stuff was banging. Bart actually chose it, and my missus got me it, my wife got me it for like a birthday or something, and that has been a top tier whiskey. Loved it. Matt's saying amateur setup. Yeah, I'm not Roy, okay? Leave me alone. And then leave me alone. Sarge Hunter, you don't have any Edredauer unsubscribed. Yeah, I don't have any Edredauer in this hotel. All they had was Glenmorangie, Ardbeg 10, and they had Glenfiddich and Jura. So if you want me to drink that, it's like a like a dare, like a challenge, I'll go do it. But I'm drinking this. This Invergordon's not great. Even with the water. Matt saying the beer version of Buckfast Abbey. Yeah, it is. Going to La Trappe. Those are the Trappist monks brewing beer in the Netherlands. Yeah, I'm sure it was Trapp. I think I said Trappist, but they're basically, yeah, I did say Trappist. That's right. That's where I think we're going there. Bart, terribly, he was over for my wedding, which I'm really grateful for. They managed to make that. He, I don't know if you Tabes guys know this, but he got me a wedding gift and didn't get Louisa anything. It's so Bart, so Dutch. It's such a Dutch thing. But yeah, he got me the Trappist beer brought over from the Netherlands, and fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. 1 hour from Amsterdam is basically anywhere in the Netherlands, by the way. We're a small country. I kind of thought so, but like, once again, my phone's over there recording me. I can't remember. It was originally going to be Amsterdam. The course was going to be in Amsterdam, but it's somewhere else. It's somewhere else, and I don't know Amsterdam enough to say where it is. I think it's 40 minutes from Zaandam, but once again, that's probably going to be like anywhere. It's definitely not anywhere near Breda, because I think that's the north. But yeah, I'll need to find it, and then I'll message you on YouTube, or I don't know if you've got Instagram or something, but I'll message you where I am somehow, and hopefully I've got that Edredauer Barolo. Glad to hear it's a hotel, because I was about to rip the piss out of them brown curtains. I think they're pretty in. I think they're in style. Such a minging colour. It's, yeah. I actually said it at the start. I got upgraded to the premium suite for some reason, so I had free aluminium water, and they've also given me Nescafe coffee. So, and a huge bed. Like, I don't want to show the bed because it's, well, I mean, the bed's tidy, but it's just big. It's definitely like a king size. We have a double bed, like a king. Well, who needs a king size? That is massive. Anyway, I have some Barolo Edredauer, but probably not the one you have. I'll take a sample and bring you some good juice too, friend. Yeah, I appreciate it. I think there were two Barolos. I think there was like a cask strength or a younger version, and then there was this 22-year-old. I've reviewed it on my channel as well. Came in a blue tin, kind of rich blue tin, and yeah, really, really good stuff. Really good stuff. We'd exchange phone numbers. I don't do much social media, but have WhatsApp. Okay, we'll do phone numbers. I'm not gonna. Yeah, but where do I put it? If I just put my phone number on, Just I mean, there's not like loads of people watching. There's not, but the amount of data that'll be online for me, my address has got to be in somewhere. Probably in like an Instagram reel where I've like done a package, and then my phone number, postcode. Might as well just put my card details up. But yeah, we could exchange phone numbers somehow. Email. Email secure. GDPR best practices at best. Yeah. Mate, honestly, like I am so worried for my data. I should never have put my face on YouTube. Mark, one of the Taves guys, actually created some AI content of me. It's messed up. Premium brown curtains, yeah, they are something else. You in Aberdeen, Stu? Yeah, Matt, I'm up in the Altons at the moment. I've got a course today and tomorrow. Technically working, so I've not drunk too much, to be honest. I've had wee samples, wee nips. Just need to prove it. So if the company are watching, which I doubt it, I've not had much, but yeah, I'm in Aberdeen just for the 2 days, today, tomorrow, and then home tomorrow night, drive home tomorrow night, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then back in Aberdeen to go to work on Tuesday. So yeah, fun. Love Aberdeen. I might be able to get in touch with your other Dutch friend and get it through him. Yeah, that would probably be like the safest way. Instead of me putting my phone number up here. I mean, I could. I mean, the amount of spam calls that I'm going to get, it's very unlikely. What I'll do is I'll reply to a comment on one of the videos. I don't think it's a good idea, actually. I'm thinking it through my head. It's probably not a good idea for me to put my phone number up somewhere. Someone will like try and like, what's the word? Is it contort? Extort. Someone will try and extort me. Or maybe that's just where my mind goes to. What are we on? Jesus, 5 to 9. Almost 2 hours of me just rambling pish. But no, I've enjoyed the conversation. I've enjoyed that we've been able to have this back and forth. This is what I like about this format. Like I said, this is what I like about lives. It's a little bit hard, as I said, just because of how my rota is and spending time at home. And I like doing it with Stevie, but there's not this same level of connection, if you like, nice and cute. I'm going to open this Paul Noir with my father now. Great. Have a good stream, my friend. I'll maybe ask you for your email sometime soon so I can contact you directly. I think my email might actually be on Gmail. Sorry. I think my email might be on YouTube. I think there might actually be a comment there. But I can give you anyway. I don't mind my email going out. So what I'll do, because I'm pretty sure this email is on Instagram as well, so I'm pretty sure it's easily available for anyone. Where are we? Yeah, so there's my email. Matt, would have come to say hello, but with the price of fuel and the amount of potholes in Aberdeen, it's really not worth it, I know. Yeah, £108 to fill your van. Aye, the diesel up here is like, I've seen it at 174. 174. Bloody wars. So yeah, I think we've got to a natural conclusion, a natural end in the stream. I could stay on, I could drink more, but need to be responsible. Got work tomorrow. Work, it's a course, but still technically getting paid for it, if you will. It's a clawback type deal, which is just time that we got the company. So don't want to take the mick out of that too much. So yeah, really, what you saying? 1949 in Thurso, profiteering at its finest. What? 1899 190. Jesus. Save your email. Send your email soon when I manage to get time. No rush, no worries. I'm not in the Netherlands till June. So that's like I said it kind of near the start of the stream. Shout out to Patreons. You help support me. You help fund the channel. Although I'm bad at saying, like, I'm bad at maybe what would be the word for it? I'm bad at showing when I'm buying stuff with Patreon funds, if that makes sense. But I am using the Patreon funds to buy whiskey. But maybe I should be more upfront about what I'm buying, or give people maybe a choice between bottles and what I should buy for reviewing. But that's what I'm doing with the Patreon fund. I normally buy whiskey or buy gear. I bought a tripod. Actually, fortunate enough, used the money for a laptop that I'd accumulated over a period, a long period. I had to put my own money towards it too, because I'm not like making mega bucks. But yeah, I've got to say how grateful I am, and it's not a money thing. There is an option to do Patreon, like you can do free Patreon. You can join my Patreon for free. You don't really get to see any content, because all my content's like for paying Patreon supporters, but as a free Patreon, it shows me you're supporting me nonetheless. And all the support and any support's like honestly greatly appreciated, because this is just a stupid thing. People have got better ways to spend their time, spend their money, and I appreciate it that it goes towards me, and my daft channel. So yeah, I really do appreciate it. Matt's saying, okay, off to carry on with my sad quiet life and watch The Apprentice. The Apprentice is not as good as this. No. And that Invergordon isn't doing it for me. Nah, the Invergordon's shit. Diesel was like 1.92 GBP if I convert that from what we pay in euros. Yeah, that's it's high. That's pretty much what Matt's paying. Blame Grant for that pick. Yeah, we need to blame Grant for that Invergordon. So yeah, I think I've dealt with the soppy bit of Patreon. Yeah, honestly, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you spending this time with me, because I've been alone in a hotel room. So thanks for watching. I've been Stuart. This has been Whiskey Whims. I'll see you later.